We're up and going. Welcome everyone to. Whoa, what happened to the camera? Gotta fix the camera. Camera's suddenly all dark. Gotta get that fixed. Exposure. Does that help? That helps. I think sufficiently. I think we've got another light here that we normally used. Yeah, that gives us something a little nicer. Okay. So, welcome everyone to Drawing Inward, where we're going to be expanding. I've been flailing around a bit for the past few episodes with the SD characters, and I think it's time now to expand and do some more interesting poses and just try to do more stuff with these characters. I think now that I've drawn them a little bit, just a little bit, I should try doing the same character in different poses, different angles, and such to get that kind of figured out. And then we'll see where we go from there. I'd actually like to, now that I've established these characters, if you will, I'd like to do a few more things with them every week, maybe a comic every week, but then move on to non-SD stuff. Like, this is fun, but let's see if we can't progress, if you will. So let's grab a new piece of paper. I'm going to just pull this off here because this rack, we're so close to the end of this this pad that trying to draw with this, my hand tends to hit there. So we're going to go ahead and pull it off. And while we're at it, actually, no, I think we'll just keep that for now. So we've got our little Francis character there in the lower corner. And, and actually, I think I'm going to be a little under the weather tonight. So this probably will not be a 4-hour stream or anything. But we'll see how much we can get. So I think I'm going to try, for example, mimicking that image. This is from How to Draw Manga Super Deformed Characters Volume 1, which I've been using for reference for quite a bit. Very nice, very useful. Hey, Camardello, welcome. I think I'm actually going to try to mimic this pose with Francis over there. That guy right there. And see how close we get. So let me pull up, before I go any further, yeah. So I've just got Francis there on my side, kind of zoomed in, and we'll go ahead and do some drawing. So we need Francis. We want, yeah. So let's try to get Francis's head. I'm going to call this Francis Pumped. So we have some idea of what we're going for. So we want his head, and it's going to be kind of like that. It's more curved than that, but that's okay. And it's interesting that we can't really see that because she's forwards. That's fair enough. So we'll do, and then we've got that. The shirt's similar, so we can just do that. We're going to give that there, give that there, and then shirt comes down like that. Same idea back there. Kind of the shirt goes like this, and then like that. Check our proportions. I think that's about right. He doesn't have a skirt on, so in fact I might pull in the shirt a bit and have that tucked into the belt. Again, just kind of get a feel. Hey, Commodore. Cool. Glad to hear it. Hey, Mike. How's it going? Hey, Matt. Good morning. Morning. So there's that. Let's do. Do we dare the doing the foot? I think we're gonna dare. So we're gonna have this. We're gonna have that come down and around and show the leg coming up like this, and then have the other pant leg like this. So I'm going to have kind of the pant leg like that, and then he's going to have a leg coming down like that. I know the proportions are way off, but bear with me for now. And then he'll have an arm going way off like that to our, I think that's actually probably a bit too big. Something I learned, get a nice big eraser instead of a tiny one. That's fine. And then the arm will be coming out like this. Give it a nice curve so that you have that sense that it's going forward. At this point, yes, absolutely a hobby. I would obviously love to make millions of dollars as a cartoonist, because that's what happens to cartoonists, right? They all make millions of dollars. But yeah, I'd love to sit at home all day and draw, but I'm certainly not there yet. So let's double check our proportions. Those look about correct. I think we want a larger leg on him. So we'll just sort of block that in. The shirt comes down a little further. So yeah, we'll see where all this goes, and then we'll give him his shirt thing. Again, just kind of blocking that in to get a sense of where that's going to be. Okay, cool. And again, we'll kind of fix the curvature of his head. And we've got, I think we'll give him the same kind of giant smile. Actually, no, let's start with the eyes. I always say to start with the eyes. So we've got our, I don't think that's going to be right at all. Let's move those in a bit. Actually, no, the eyes are kind of small and far apart. So we can do something like that. And then let's try that. How is that? And then let's get a sense of where the hat is. I think the head's too big, oddly enough. So let's try pulling in the sides of the head a bit, perhaps, and making it a little smaller. First discovered channel through Gundam Reviews, where I make a video where I ranked the franchise. Ranked the franchise in what way? I don't know what I'd rank it against. Like, it's not really comparable to anything else. Can't really rank it next to, say, Star Trek. Always up for video ideas, obviously. So let's just get a sense of the hat. I also wouldn't mind making Francis possibly like a mascot for Geek Archaeology. I mean, he is kind of that. I think his head's too tall. Let's pull it down a bit. Let's make it up like this. Is that better? And then put the eyes maybe here. Yeah, and that definitely feels better to me. With the hat, say, down here. Yeah, I like that. Glad to hear you liked the ranking the franchise entries. Well, the issue there is that would be my personal ranking, right? That would be what I like, not what you like. So it would be an awfully subjective list. And it would kind of come down to my own personal tastes. So not sure if that would be particularly of use to other people, right? Like, I'm not going to know what you like. And my personal, like, I don't like 0083, which is a deeply unpopular opinion. and doesn't seem to be very helpful to other people. So not sure about that. So we have the hair, which comes up to there, and kind of comes down to there. Comes around, we'll give him his ears. The ears start around there. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Give him his nose. Give him eyes. That's pretty cool. I'm kind of liking that Francis there. Looking cool. Start with Lane. Nice. Well, I'll try to make my reviews as impersonal as possible, though. I'm talking about the animation, the art, the story, and so forth. It's not, well, I liked X and I didn't like Y. So, I don't know. Again, I think part of the problem, too, is I find rankings just become kind of, how to put this? Here's the problem. I can't I can't. 8th MS Team and 0080 are two very different works that aren't comparable, right? Like they're not. They do different things in so many different ways that my brain can't say, well, this one is better than this one because the animation here is an 8.5 and the music over here is a 9.2. It just, I don't know. I don't. In other words, I don't know how I would rank most Gundams. I could say I liked these kind of less and I liked these more. I could do some very broad categorizations, but I really can't. I can't rank them. I can't. Is Turn A better than Gundam Build Fighters? I don't know. I like them in very different ways. So I don't know. It's a tough one. And it would certainly be popular. I mean, I certainly agree. People love those things. But my brain just doesn't seem to work that way. So let's make these. Yeah, I actually kind of like that there. And then we'll have the. Yeah. Those there and that there. So let's have the. Yeah, we'll have the shorts come out kind of like this, maybe. Yeah, that works. Yeah, and see, I put 083 at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if this story is derivative any more than any other anime story is derivative. I mean, it's pretty standard anime fare. But then, I mean, how original is the plot of 8th MS Team? Right? So, I don't know. That's a good one. It's a good point you bring up is, how would one do this? So let's just kind of handle that. Okay, so I think I've got a pretty good feel for that. Let me go ahead and start with some inks. And unlike before, when I just kept messing up, I'm going to go ahead and watching Kashurn's Sins. Yeah, I've heard Kashurn's Sins is very different. It is, in a sense, not comparable. Let's start here. To any of the other Kashurn properties. I'm not liking this inking job so far. But let's see where it goes. Let's see where we end up. Yeah, I think we'll do that. There. Yeah, not bad. great though. I do need to stop pressing down so hard though. We'll continue on with the. Yeah, that's actually a lot better. Let's start on the face. Mm. Having that problem that Urasawa talks about, that often the pencil work feels like it looks better than the ink work. There's just something in the pencil work. Man, I just cannot draw a straight line tonight. What is up with me? I'm just trying to get this down. Oh, derivative of French. I see what you mean. Yeah, I certainly agree with you there, Commodillo. That's definitely one of the problems I had with 083. It's like, haven't we seen this before? And wasn't it done more enjoyably there? More satisfyingly, I should put it. I need to do the goggles. But we'll get to that in a minute. So let's do the yeah. Get that in there. I also got to admit, I feel bad. I feel like a failure of a Gundam fan, because I have not been keeping up with recent Gundam. I have not watched Gundam The Origin past like episode 4, I think. I'm only a bit into Iron Blooded Orphans. Seen very little of Reconquista. I'm a bad fan. Which I know is silly, but it does enter your mind, you know. You do think about it a bit. Okay, he does not have a thing there, so we'll let that go. Like that go, like that, and then just do the simple little fist there. Yeah. Yeah, again, I honestly do not think my brain could rank them. You know, again, I could not put 8th MS Team and 0080 higher or lower than each other. So that would be a problem. Maybe I'll do like a retrospective. Maybe I'll do like a, here's what they all are kind of a thing. Here's where they all fit, kind of into things. I need to figure out how that would. We'll do it like that. Kind of obsessing over the the shape of these pants. I'm definitely not happy with his pant shape, the shorts, not being able to get a really good bead on them. But I think we'll do something like this, and then like this, loop them down like that. Yeah, that'll work. It's very, very simple, but that's okay. I think I might just kind of do this. Like I have no idea where that's going. I was doing them on YouTube, and then YouTube cut off my ability to do live streams. Because during a live stream, I shared a 10-second clip of the opening theme of Dual Parallel Trouble Adventure. Not the video, mind you, just the audio of the opening. And they stopped the stream, and then every time I go to the little streaming tab, it says that this account cannot stream at this time. So, that's that. Disappointing. But not much I can do about it. Let's see if we can't get this. And then this. And then this. And then this. I think I'm going to go down one for the eyes, because I want a little more detail in the eyes. Yeah, this could definitely be a mascot for GA. Whoop. Whoop. Gotta have your eye bubble, your reflection. And then, oh, that's right, we like having teeth. And I might just black that in. Francis is pumped. That's pretty good. Oh, no, we've got something. Got the goggles. Let's sketch those in. Oh, and we've got his nose, too. Burp, burp. Yeah, I could be a trainer. So those goggles are like here, maybe even a bit bigger. Like I've found if I don't sketch it in and just go for it, it turns out wrong. Yeah, they need to be a little bigger, I think. Like I don't need to do every detail, but I need to get a better sense of placement and such. And they have a little band between them. And then the goggles. Okay. So we have this going up to here, and then down to there. And I'll actually move these in a little bit further, to there, and up there, and kind of an egg shape. And then we'll connect them, give them the strap. You got to have that strap. And then we have you just go inside. Whoa, you go inside there. Mess that up. I'll fix that in post. That's annoying. My fault. And a little bit of a reflection. His eyes have reflection, so will the goggles. It's kind of tied up into that philosophy where I just don't know what good or bad means when it comes to art, and thus I don't know what putting one show third versus fourth really means, other than I liked it more than anything else. And again, with Gundam, it's really hard. I could do Macross pretty darn easy, Macross Plus, original Macross. Gosh, I haven't seen that much Macross, actually. Macross 0 would be down at the bottom. And then above that, Macross 7. Oh, Macross Frontier. So probably plus original Macross Frontier. What little I've seen of 7, and then 0. There must be some other Macross I've seen. I saw a little bit of Delta, but not enough to really get a sense of the show. Zon thinks 7 is the best. Nah. I've only seen a little bit of 7, so I don't know. Yeah, Macross 0 was beautiful, but wrong. So those guys are kind of interesting. But again, that's really me. Why is Macross Plus top? It's the first Macross I ever saw, and it was aimed at adults, and it was everything I was looking for in anime at the time. That'd actually be kind of an interesting thing to do a video that's sort of, here's what these anime mean to me, right? Like, here's what I was going through at the time. Here's what I really cared about. Let me grab my thing. I'll grab some water while I'm at it. I think it's interesting to provide context, to say, I love this and here's why. It's kind of why I do complimentary. Watching Rune Soldier. Hey, Matasquee. I hear you, Carmadillo. It's why I'm not saying, I wouldn't do it. It's just I got to find that, that into that list where, I don't think I would necessarily number it, but I want to figure out the approach I could take to help people understand what my take is, where it's not just a number, right? It is this is what this is. This is why this is interesting. But there's probably some way. Okay, that's been stamped with the finishing stamp. So that is now finished. And we can find the eraser. There it is. I'm going to assume that's dried. Yeah. That's a pretty fun drawing, So what's fun about this is that there's no way I could have drawn this, a couple months ago. And I'm not saying that to be, to puff myself up. Is to say that just this act of practicing this art has allowed me to produce this thing, which is a lot of fun. Yes, I scan all my arts, and they're on brentnewhall.deviantart.com, which I will put. I always put a link in the description of the final YouTube video. I put a link there to the scanned art. If I'm doing like a random sketch of something where it's quick practice, here's an eye. I don't scan every single one of those, but I scan everything not ridiculous. Yeah, that didn't smudge too bad. There's obviously something in this eraser. I don't know if you can see it. There are some very light smudges there, so there's obviously some gunk that's gotten into the eraser. So that's a little annoying, but it doesn't seem to have affected anything. And there's a little... There we go. Okay, that'll scan in. I could go deviant, but then this would not go up on YouTube or Twitch. The thought has crossed my mind in a very ridiculous sort of fantastical way of saying, wouldn't it be funny if I just suddenly started drawing a tentacle monster in some Japanese schoolgirl? No comment, just started doing it, but no, I'm not going to do that. And I also wanted to... Do not like messing up the paper. Okay, that's gonna scan in okay. All right, so that's there. It's a nice shelf. How much did it set you back, or did you build? Have it? Which? Oh, that. What are we looking at? We're looking at that shelf. It's just Walmart brand bookshelves bolted together, screwed together, literally. I just bought a bunch of them and put them next to each other and screwed them together. So nothing there. I could build a bookcase, actually. I just didn't need to. That was before I kind of got to that point, drawing wise. Okay, so that's fun. Let's look for a different pose. Something a little more. That's cute. That's tempting. Yeah, that's not even. I mean, that's there's a lot of books there. That's pretty much the entire manga collection, though. Well, I mean, manga collection ends there. Yeah, so that's the entire manga collection. Yeah, three cases. That's kind of tempting. Yeah, I think I'll do that pose. Kind of wish I'd torn this apart, but I'm tempted not to. Yeah, it's like I think they were $50 or so when I bought them. My old place, the place I had before this, had built-in bookcases, and I bought some as well. But all those were in a built-in bookcase before, and now I had to go to Walmart and buy all those. Even though I have been now getting rid of some of my books. No manga yet, but probably at some point I'll start cutting down on that and see if we can't. Okay, I think that will hold that down. Let's get into the Spriggan. Yeah. Spriggan was the last fully hand-drawn, hand-colored, hand-painted anime film, as far as I understand, where they deliberately said we're not going to use any computers in this. Back when everyone was transitioning over, I remember watching a sort of a anime industry insider talking about that and saying, it's noble in a way, but that meant the film cost twice as much as it would have otherwise, and would it really have looked half as good if it was on a computer? Hard to argue that. The drawings would still have been there. They still would have been colored. It just would have looked different, but it wouldn't necessarily have looked 50% worse. So that is the problem, always with those things. As much as I love the traditional way of doing things, and obviously, see what I'm doing here, there is a point where it's like, well, you are pouring money down a drain, in a sense. I need to be over here. Yeah, exactly. Jan Scott Frazier was the person back at Otakon 2001, 2002, something like that. He's talking about that. But yeah, exactly. Imagine these modern films done. And again, obviously, modern anime is still hand drawn, but this was coloring and all that stuff. So that would have been nuts. I'd love to know how much. As far as I understand, most folks haven't really even moved over into tablets for drawing. It's still basically paper and pencil up to the inking stage. I think they're probably moving. I think that depends. I know Pokemon, for example, has moved to digital drawing, so it's all they're all using tablets and such on Pokemon. For the actual drawing of the stuff. But I think a lot of other stuff, it's still, at least pencils and often inking as well, are done on paper. Okay, so let's do Francis, and he's going to be kind of from the side here. So let's do a head, and he's going to be since he's from the side, wow, this is going all pear-shaped all immediately. Okay, that seems about right, roughly. Again, I'm making his head a little too tall, so we'll fix that. Maybe even further down? Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, exactly. It's all outsourced, and that's actually a good point. I mean, all of the tweens, I'm sure, are, they got to be scanned anyway. So we do that. Yeah, this is my own character, Francis, the overexcited Boy Scout, basically. So let's give him let's see here. So we give him sort of the thing there. And then so he's gonna be like this. And then the shirt will kind of do this. Let's just try to get something roughly in here. Then we have that, and then not quite sure about this, about how all this should be placed, but we're kind of getting there. That's good to hear. The Digibro is pushing folks to do Gundam. I mean, it's definitely we need more of that. So his shorts are going to be like this. And goop. In fact, let's put the legs up a little bit. Let's fix that. The fabric falls on the leg, so you don't want the fabric can't be floating up above the leg. What different styles have I tried learning? A lot. Very poorly, typically, because I just get started and I do poorly, and so I stop. And this is one of the reasons for this whole Tuesday night drawing project. It is for me to actually spend some time on one style until I've got it to a point where I'm not great at it necessarily, but I'm doing something. And I do feel like I'm kind of getting there with this style, with the chibi stuff, so I can then move on to something more adult, not adult, but more seinen maybe, or at least shonen-y. I have an issue watching. I've have an issue watching 26 episode series these days. That is intimidating to me. Those longer series to me, that is a commitment that I have a difficult time committing to, which is ironic. So I think his head should be forward a little bit. I think I'm not exaggerating that head enough. So let's try moving it forward to about here. See what that does. Cut it down a bit maybe. And then tilt the head back a little bit. I think that'll work. So we'll give him his hat around here. We'll put so we want the main eye is there. The other eye is, so the eyes are still around. I think for now I'll put in the eyes just so we have a sense. So obviously I've got a head shape problem. What am I doing wrong? I drew him from the side as well. Whoa. Okay. No, that's not what okay, 1 second. Bizarre. Right. So, what am I doing? Oh, yeah. Abe and Urasawa are like that. That is what I would want to do. That's. So let me try going up like this, and then doing. And then that should be. So we're probably gonna expand that out, maybe. It's obviously this. So I've got this head all wrong. It would come like this, maybe more like that. And we'd have the smile like that, maybe. And then maybe Chibufoot. No, definitely not. And then he's got to have an ear. Let's figure out the ear, the hat. What am I doing wrong with this? Yeah, it's obviously. Let me go back to my other image. Apparently. Okay, there we are. Okay. Well, maybe, if nothing else, let's get rid of the giant eyes and try. That. Is that better? Somewhat. I'm just not getting the shape of that. Okay, I think let me nuke the bottom of his head and reshape it into something, and maybe I can get a sense of what I'm doing wrong. Is it not big enough? No, it shouldn't be. Okay. I'm jowling him somehow. Giving him this giant. He shouldn't be. Yeah, his head shouldn't be bean shaped. Is it the back of the head? Should the back of the head come like this? Gosh. See you, Matt. Both of you, Matt. Yeah, that I forget the name of that Abe work, but it's definitely. Okay, so if I turn. Okay, no. So I think what's happening here is that A. Let's just do this. Let's cut down this head. Make it way smaller. And then we'll move that smile up. And then we'll give him his better. I think the curve of the eyes is too much, if nothing else. It just feels weird. That's better. I just can't get this head shape right. This 3/4 perspective is something I've not tried with him. So let's go back to the artwork. So yeah, I might actually go back to, there we go. I might actually go back to Abe and try to mimic his style. So what we need is, we need a curve in, and then a curve out, but then it curves back in very quickly. So it shouldn't be nearly as, so it should be more like this, they're saying. That's better. That's definitely closer. And then we'll, I'm giving them these very simple jowls. Yeah, that's closer. Then we have those there. And yeah, okay. That I'm more close to. So yeah, I was working on a 4-koma manga. There's a gag manga with Francis here and Alice, his sister, who is a bookworm and very much doesn't like going out in nature and doing things. Whereas Francis loves to drag her out into nature and invite her to go hiking along muddy trails and all that. And all she wants to do is sit back at home with some books. So that's kind of the natural tension and fun of the characters. So that there. We'll figure out where that should go. That's about right. Figure out his hands. Okay, that'll work. Okay, I'm willing to try ink this. Will he ever get his badges? Probably not. Yeah, so Alice, these are kind of, as with every art, they're kind of both sides of my personality. I love nature. I love being outdoors and hiking. But I also kind of like books. So I thought that would be some fun stuff. But I got kind of stuck on ideas for the comic, so I realized I needed to kind of nail down the art for it first. Well, not nail down the art for it, but be a little more figure out the art, if you will. Actually, let me do the hand here, which I think is just going to be a blob for now. Not for now, but and there's the sleeve. Okay, that's where that ends. And then we'll give him a slightly more curved line there. And then I think I want that to work there. But yeah, and it's that classic dichotomy where yes, you should be outside more, but no, you should not be constantly traipsing around, kind of a thing. All right, that'll do. That goes up to there. There's his ear, which we'll do that. That slightly fuzzy hair. Let's do the brim of the hat. Okay, hand, can you not shake constantly, please? That would be great. I would love it, hand, if you could just give me a nice straight line as opposed to jittering every microsecond. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my hand is just shaking like a leaf tonight. And we'll do that. There's that hat. Yeah, some nights the drawing gods are not with you, so to speak. Let's do those eyes. I think they should be up a little higher. And then give him that giant yell. Alright. I think I'll give him, yeah. Yep. There's his scouting thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be, like, literally part of the scouts. Just because then I'd have to actually, like, research the scouts and figure out what they're actually like, which seems like a lot of work. So maybe instead he's just part of one of those generic scouting organizations. It'd be funny if he belongs to like a heavy traditionalist scouting organization, like the old school like 1910 whatever scouting organization, where it's like, here's how to trap a bear. That would be pretty hilarious. Good Boy Scouts do not believe in communism. All that stuff. Like, it was hardcore back in the day. Okay. Let's bring that up a little bit. Yeah. Alright. That's not bad. Oh, we need to give him a... Yeah. I like that. Anything else he needs? I don't think so. Nope, that'll do. Having a fan might work. Also, gloves. I know a lot of people use like a tissue or gloves or something to do that. See, I'm exactly the opposite. When I start watching the anime and realize there's a manga, I'd much rather read the manga because I can pour through manga way faster than I can get through anime. I can conquer a manga work. So for me, that's kind of my thing. So the interesting thing, Camarillo, I've been watching this series about different manga artists, and it varies wildly. Some really successful manga artists, wow, that is, it's not smudging, but that whatever that gunk is on that is getting on the thing. That's annoying. See all those marks there? Those things there, they're getting kind of all over the place. Perhaps it is time for a new eraser. I have had this one for like, I don't know, gosh, 12 years? So perhaps it has outlived its usefulness. Okay, yeah, that is really terrible. Um, Obviously, I should completely redo that. But okay, and I learned. Now here, Commodore, it's not a bad idea. I'm just saying what's interesting is that it really depends on the artist. Some rotate, some don't. So something I'm gonna have to experiment with is it better for me to not rotate because that's great for some people, and it's better for me to rotate because that's better for some people. So I'll definitely have to sit, you know. No, and I should say I've had this eraser for 12 years, but I barely used it. Like it's been sitting in a drawer for most of that time. But yeah, I think it's probably, and you can see it's probably can't see it very well. But yeah, it's got a lot of like I cut off chunks that had pieces of lint in it and such. But I think it's that may be it. But that is this is point 2. Oops, Francis yells. Yeah, it's gunked up. One of the fascinating things about drawing is you find that there are lots of different ways of doing it, which means the way you're doing it may be wrong. And it's worth experimenting with different procedures to see if you're doing it wrong, because you may be wrong for you, wrong for your process. So yeah, I'll have to go on and add this. I'll get some. I need to get a few things on Amazon soon. Okay, so that's that. These are all the other books I have, so I'll scan this. And the How to Draw Manga series, which, if you're not familiar, is actually published in Japan. It's a Japanese How to Draw Manga thing that was then translated into English. One of my pet peeves is all these How to Draw Manga things that are written by some guy in Illinois who copied manga for 6 months and then is showing you how to draw manga. It's like, I'd rather hear, it's not that that person, can't draw comics, it's just I'd rather get a how to draw manga thing from, a manga university or, something that's actually drawn by people who have published manga in Japan. So this is, let me see here, we'll start. Yeah, that's a custom stamp. That is my finishing stamp. It has my rune on it. So this is my own personal rune, as I said. And it's just an eraser that I cut into a shape. And I'm using it now as my kind of my stamp. So Volume 3, Power Up Manga Techniques for Beginners and Beyond. This is kind of how to start. Really fun manga, actually. Although it's very dated. A lot of things about obviously these characters look like they come straight out of the 80s. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Maybe early 90s. Drawing animals, imaginary machines, using photographs, checkpoints. So these are more, again, sort of powering up. And then the casual wear book is fantastic. I think this is all. I'll be careful. Some of these are a little, underwear. But this is great because it shows, what it looks like wearing a t-shirt and how all the folds are, and and all these different poses in, a generally manga style. And then here's a, what is this? Well, it's a crew neck, but the skirt, I guess a slit skirt. Lots of different poses, and then, jackets, really nice. Yeah, Cat Skellington. Skeleton. So that's useful, but not where I want to start now. So here's drawing super deformed animals, which I'll get to someday. Not too worried right now. Mech drawing. Hello. So this is about drawing mechanical things and shapes. So I might do something there. It might not be a bad idea, actually, to draw some mechanical stuff. Because those shapes are easier than humans. So maybe if I can come up with some story idea that uses machines would be a good idea. Have to think about that. And then compiling characters. This was kind of the, well, Twitch may ban me for that, or YouTube for that. So yeah, so compiling characters. This is more the how to get started stuff. So, you know what I might do? I've done this before. I might grab some Naoki Urasawa stuff or some Yoshinosuke Abe stuff and try to copy that, not trace it, but just copy some of those art styles, kind of like I did for these guys with Shaman King, and get a feel for how they do their art styles. That might be worth doing. So I mean, the ideal, kind of my plan, is to get to the point where I do an SD character at the beginning of every episode, and then I move on to a non-SD thing. I'd love to do sort of a 4-coma at the beginning of the drawing stream, and then like a page of a manga as the other half of the drawing stream. That would be hours if I was trying to do that. It was something along those lines. Maybe instead of a 4-coma, I'll do like a single panel, like a Far Side style, but with SD characters. Maybe that's a better idea. So just kind of keep up those skills of drawing SD, but then also do something more serious. So I got to think about that. What would be a more serious thing? Maybe I need to grab. I love how in the early days doujinshi were simply original comics. They usually were not fan parodies of existing characters. People would have their own original characters and original stories in those. And it wasn't until actually Captain Tsubasa, the Captain Tsubasa craze, that really changed. And so I kind of had that the appeal there of doing maybe a short, like 8-page manga, maybe pulled from, again, like a sci-fi story or something, just to get across some idea, just do a scene from a story. I think that'd be a possibility. So I'll think about that for next week. I think we're going to stop there. I'm feeling a little under the weather, and so I think this is without exhausting myself, this is a good place to stop. Got 2 drawings done, which is good. So I think next week, and so we'll be doing this on Mondays from now on. D&D is moved to Tuesdays, so it's actually going to work out kind of nicely. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays for the streams. So yeah, so next week, I think I will do. Here's what I'll do. I'll plan out some ideas for some single panel comics. Have a few of those sort of in the hopper, so we can draw one of those next week, and then move on to planning out and starting to sketch out characters for a more serious, again, short, like 6 to 10 page story. And I'll also pull some art of, like we said, Yoshinosuke Abe maybe, or Urasawa, or who else would I duplicate for like a seinen series? Maybe even a Katsuhiro Otomo. I like his style. Can kind of do a pulp story. I love science fiction. I have a lot of science fiction here. What you can't see is the other wall is books, and a good chunk of that is sci-fi and fantasy. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll choose something that way. And the advantage of science fiction is, again, that we have some mechanics there with spaceships and such. So it'll give me a chance to do that. So we'll see. All right, thank you all for joining me. It's good having you all in the chat room as usual. It really helps to have someone to talk back with. So hope you'll be back next Monday, as well as for the other streams. Have a great one, guys. See ya.